Yeah, good. First of all, I think it's important to mention your hands sometimes move a little too actively, especially look at the left hand from one position to another. And the right hand, I think the problem with this piece is too much damping the strings, and legato is very important. So, I mean, for example, at the beginning, you have you can actually keep the chord a little longer. Let's go from here, just the first measure until the second beat. Go on from here.
You want me to try that?
Yes, yeah, from the beat. Yes, okay, but keep the chord a little longer. Yeah? Yes, and then you can, then you start on the, yes. Yes, and it probably, I think it's better if you use the open string here, just to have this more legato effect. Transcription of the fifth cello suite is. So in the cello version, Bach wrote these ornaments in 16 notes, and he wrote it in 32nd. I think this emphasizes the fact that we should play it somewhere in between. Not very fast, not like 16 notes, not exactly like 30 seconds. So maybe also these notes. I mean, the idea is what some people call overdotting, or note inégal, what the French say. It's a little in between, okay? It's a little faster than the usual dots what you have, but it's not really double dotted, okay? So a little faster maybe, these dots, okay? These dot notes. Another thing is the idea of weak and strong. I think this juxtaposition is very symptomatic of the Baroque period. So you have, you know, nobility, peasant population, and so forth. So you have always strong and weak. This comes out also when you play little phrases where Bach usually wrote something like phrasing bows with an articulation. So he would, I mean, you would play something like not. Equal, okay? So it's E, da. And this idea, I think it's lost sometimes in your playing, okay? So think of this pulse going strong, weak, strong, okay? Yeah, start from the beginning again, and so let me see it. Yes, and of course this appoggiatura, okay, this suspension is emphasized, and then you have the resolution lives. Yeah. Good. Yes, and not too fast, maybe. Okay, in the trill, when you have a trill, I mean, you have to decide, do you want to do a longer trill or a shorter one? But anyway, it has to be fast at the end, okay? So most of the time it starts a little slower and then goes faster.
So not equal, but okay.
Yeah, it's a little too slow. Maybe wait a little on the first one, but then. Yeah, it's better. Yes. No, that's fast. That's good. Yeah, just try to remain this calm mood. I mean, the Allemande is, I think it's graceful, earnest dance, and so the moderate tempo which you chose was fine, totally. But sometimes it was a little rushy, okay, at some points. So maybe here not too fast. Okay, but also think of these longer phrases. So it's not like, you know, several motives put together and each of them separately, but it's more like one unit, okay? So when you start this ornament, try to think until you reach this, okay? So you think ahead, okay, I need to go for this goal. Yeah, these are a little too separate. Okay, more connected. Yeah, this is the same what I told you. So here you have one bowing, okay? So it's ba, ba. Even though if you play, I mean, you have clearly this bass, so it tends to fall out somehow. But the accent is clearly on this note, not that.
So you're saying to connect this one?
Yeah, yes, I mean connect this line, but I mean this has to be soft. Okay, so this 16 note. Okay, so here you have more the accent. Yeah, that's much better, right? Maybe you're arpeggiating this chord. Okay, if you're arpeggiating this one. Yeah, that's much better. And also this one, I mean, this is on the one phrasing bow, okay? You have to. Also, don't accent this note. You have ba da, not da 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 da. Okay. Yes. Okay, but keep the C, keep the chord. Okay, so you have an appoggiatura. It's still the same chord. Okay, so don't cut the harmony. Yes, but it's an appoggiatura, so that means the suspension is more accented than the resolution. Even if you have an ornament like this. It's a little quiet. Yes, exactly.
Too much on that.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think there's any need for us as guitarists to cut this one. I mean, maybe on cello it's not possible to do that. You have to keep this note, yeah? But, yeah, definitely keep this one, okay? Because he, I mean, it's kind of linked together. Okay? Da, da, da. So keep this one, tie this over. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. upon another issue, which is the art of transcription. As we can see, I mean, when we compare Bach's own transcriptions with his originals, let's say. I mean, for example, the second violin sonata, he transcribed for harpsichord. It's interesting to see what he changed. He did some alterations in terms of pitch, rhythm, ornaments, and also he added some counterpoint, especially in the flute. So I think we can actually make something more fitting for the guitar. Of course, it has to be stylistically correct and rather slight, but I think the modifications are very appropriate. Of course, when we sometimes use like fuller chords for something, right? Something like this. I mean, you can definitely use this. Or, for example, you have leaps. I mean, when you have a leap of 7, sometimes Bach links it by an arpeggio. So, I mean, let's say we do it. So you can actually do this, and it's stylistically perfect, correct? Okay? You can think of this maybe to do in the repetition. I mean, you can change it up anyway. I just write it down for you. But it's nice to have something different in the repetition. Okay? So maybe the first time you play as you did. The second time. Something like this, okay? So you can change things up. I think there are other passages where you can do that. For example, clearly the case here. To have something like a what we call Bass Durchgang. In German? Yeah, Bass Durchgang. Like a bass, alley, or transit, whatever you want to say. And then you, instead of that, you play the octave. So here and play the A down here. So there's several things we can do in terms of, complementing the harmony. I think for the guitarist, this is something very basic what we can do. All right, let's go back when we were to here, yeah. Has nothing to do with it. Yes. I think this chord is nicer. If you put this, the D is definitely nice, but not over here, okay? So maybe octavate it up. So you have the D up here without the B. Yes. Or what you can do is, for example, when you play, if you play the E here, in order to not have the E again, the low E, you can play B. You can play B, and then to G sharp and then to A. Or you can just go to G sharp. It's also both possible. But the chord has to sound nice on the guitar. So maybe G sharp here. Okay. Yeah, let's keep going. Okay, here clearly there's something happening. So it's more dramatic. I think you shouldn't. It's a little too static. Okay, it's a little too slow. Especially crescendo, you're going towards. I mean, you have a succession of notes going up. Okay, so ascending notes. I mean, sometimes they're a hint of crescendo in Baroque music, and of course yeah, you wrote the crescendo sign. So I think here should be forte, yes, definitely. So play a little more, and also a little bit faster. Okay, with direction. It's always important to play. I mean, scales up or down, to play with direction. It's not always the case that when we have ascending notes that we have crescendo. I mean, sometimes we have, I mean, for example here. Here the melody goes down. But I think definitely there should be a crescendo because of this chord, because this chord is dissonant. And you know, Klanz was a famous flutist. He wrote this treatise, How to Play Flute. He wrote about this dissonance treatment, and dissonances, like for example this dominant seventh chord, should be played forte, okay? And here's the resolution. But in order to approach this chord, a crescendo is necessary. So even if the melody goes down, I think it's very necessary to make a crescendo. So there's some hints in the music sometimes where to put, you know, forte and crescendo and so forth. Here, I think it's definitely the case. Okay. So, I mean, play this again, a little more direction. Yeah, then faster. Yeah, da 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 da. I think the fingering you use is not very beneficial. I would stay in the first position. Right, let's continue. I mean, how do you play this one? Yeah, the problem is, I mean, all these notes, they are under one phrasing bowl in the cello version. So, of course, I mean, you can, on a bowstring instrument, you can really put this on one bow, and you have a special effect of legato. We cannot imitate this effect on the guitar, but at least we can approximate it. So I think we should never play just plucking. Something like this, okay? I mean, this sounds terrible, I think, for this passage. So in order to approximate this effect, I think do something like a combination of slurs and this campanella effect. So now it sounds more legato, it sounds more connected. Yeah. So probably starting with slur, 3-1, and then 4, open string, 1, 3, low. Yeah, you can use a slur there too, I mean, if you want. You can also pluck it, but make it legato. Very legato. And then
are you using the cross or the...
Probably, yes, and then of course crescendo, yeah? sounds much nicer.
I do too, I think so.
And then keep the tension, because, look here, you have this. It's the same chord basically, okay? So Bach just wants to remain on this dominant 7th chord in order to make the audience want this to resolute, okay? To conclude finally, but it doesn't happen until here. And keep this as a chord, okay? Don't separate these notes. I think it's really important for this piece that we play in a certain way that it does not disturb the mood of the piece. So the audience must know by our playing the character of the piece. This is important with regard to fingering, like for example, if you did some hectical finger. Okay? So it's very important maybe to stay in one position instead of jumping around. Also this effect, legato playing, this campanella effect, or to keep certain harmonies, or maybe support them. It's really important that this piece is not, just collage of separate notes. It has some unity, okay? And try to connect them and leave the harmony. I mean, keep the harmony, okay? Keep the sound of the harmony as much as possible. Sometimes it was really too much. It was too staccato, let's say. It doesn't fit the movie so much. So this is maybe my recommendation. I think the most important thing for you that you have to pay attention to. Yeah, and with regard to the transcription, I mean, don't hesitate to use and experiment a little, with the harmonies. For example, like when you have here, maybe instead of something like this, okay? Just with the idea in mind, okay, we have to keep something, okay? We need to sustain the harmony. That's really important. I think that's the case. Yeah, well done, and of course then we continue another time the second part.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of information.